What if you knew Jesus was hungry? What would you do to feed him? Jesus said, feed the hungry. Good morning and welcome to the 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. The point? To help you experience life to the fullest, the Jesus way. Today's Jesus said comes from Matthew chapter 25, verse 34 through 36. Starting in verse 34, it says, "The king will say to those on his right hand, 'Come you, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me.' When did we do this?" That was the question that they asked. And then in verse 40, the Bible says, "And the king will answer and say to them, 'Assuredly, I say to you, inasmuch as you did to one of the least of these, my brethren, you did it to me.'" So, the world we live in, there's a lot of sin, there's a lot of troubles, there's a lot of things going on. But this is something that I think we miss. Why aren't we doing what Jesus said? We focus so much on all the bad, all the big sins, all the chaos. But we forget one of these simple things that Jesus said. You ask someone who doesn't follow Jesus what the church people are like. Let me tell you what they're not going to say. They're not going to say that we're all about feeding the hungry. They're not going to say we're all about welcoming the stranger, clothing the poor, visiting the sick, going to the prisoner. Unfortunately, you're probably going to hear the opposite. Church people tend to hear that church people are greedy, that we only think of ourselves, that it's all about the money, it's all about a bigger building, it's all about these nice things, it's all about these rules we're supposed to follow. It's all about us. But why? Because we think, unfortunately, it seems like the church thinks that Jesus is about getting our needs met. That's the preacher's job or the church's job to meet our needs. It's their job to feed us, to take care of us. But that's not what Jesus meant when he told Peter to feed his sheep. He said, "My sheep hear my voice," but they don't just listen to the words. They do what he said. Jesus said, "Feed the hungry." And actually, Jesus said he was the hungry. He says either you did or you didn't feed him. I think about that all the time. How many times have I missed an opportunity to feed Jesus, to be what he's called me to be? How many times have I looked the other way? I think of the story of the Good Samaritan, that the priest and the Levite, they walk around the guy in need. But it was the person who was more of an outcast, a Samaritan, who didn't feel like he was probably even a part of that Jewish culture, that actually went to go help this man. And it's like, how many times have I done that? It was a simple command that Jesus said. He said to feed the hungry. How do we ignore such simple commands? Why do 25,000 people a day die of hunger-related causes, and yet we still ignore what Jesus said? I don't claim to have all the answers, or even to be doing all that I can to obey what Jesus said. But we have to stop being content with doing less. We can't think that just going to church is enough. Just reading our Bible and praying is enough. There's more to be done. I remember speaking to someone the other day that God has a plan for each of us. And that plan includes knowing him more. That plan includes reading his word and worshiping and praising him, having that relationship with him. But that plan also includes other people. How are we going to feed people? How are we going to clothe people? How are we going to lead people? And that takes something from us. I remember a friend of mine once, he said that his utmost desire was for his kids to see the cost of the gospel. That it takes something from us. Jesus gives it to us for free. Our salvation is free. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But to spread it, to really share that with other people, it costs something. And it should. We should be willing to pay that cost. Whether that's feeding somebody, taking care of somebody, giving somebody help, giving someone a roof over their heads. That's what Jesus said. We won't stand before Jesus one day to answer for our church attendance or the scriptures we posted on Facebook. We're going to have one question. We're going to have to answer the question, I was hungry, and what did you do? This is the life I gave you. These are the people and the opportunities that you had. What did you do with them? Jesus said, feed the hungry. So how can you put that into action today? Who's somebody you know who needs something that you can give to them? So thank you so much for listening. Like, comment, and share. If you want to read the Bible with us, remember that's at bible.today.church. I really appreciate you joining. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope this time has helped you to live life to the fullest, the Jesus way. We always end everything by saying, remember to follow Jesus today. And everybody said, love first. Thank you, guys.